He didn't understand when it began, the change in the air around him. It wasn't loud, it didn't announce itself. It simply happened. Like winter arriving before anyone admits summer is gone. He was still the same small soul with soft eyes and a heart that ran faster than his paws. The one who moved toward every voice like it was calling him home. The one who believed warmth belonged to everyone, and kindness was something you could leave open like a door. But the world around him had started to sharpen in ways he couldn't name. At first it was subtle. A hand that used to stay longer now pulled away quicker. A voice that once softened at his sight now rushed past him like he was part of the air. Still, he stayed gentle. Still, he tried harder. Because softness doesn't question the weight it carries, it only learns how to carry more. Days turned into patterns he couldn't understand. The more he gave, the less anyone seemed to hold on to him. It was as if his kindness was something people expected, but never truly saw. And somewhere inside that quiet confusion, a shift began. Not in his body, but in the way he looked at the world. He started noticing pauses between words that used to feel full. He started hearing silence where attention once lived. And most of all, he started feeling something strange in places where he used to feel wanted. Absence, even when he was still there. Have you ever noticed how quickly something becomes invisible when it never stops giving? He hadn't. Not until that day when everything changed without warning. It was a room filled with noise, not the kind of noise that hurts the ears, but the kind that ignores everything soft inside it. People moved fast, voices overlapped, emotions spilled everywhere like they didn't know where to land. And as always, he stepped forward, because that was what he did. But this time, no one turned fully toward him. He stood there, small and still, waiting for the familiar moment when someone would soften, when someone would finally see him the way he saw them. But the moment never arrived. Instead, the room bent around him without touching him at all. For the first time, his kindness had nowhere to go. So he did something he had never done before. He stopped, not out of anger, just stillness. And in that stillness, something strange happened. The room didn't collapse. The world didn't break. Nothing dramatic changed at first glance, but something invisible shifted, like a thread quietly snapping in a place no one was looking at. Someone finally noticed, not his presence, but his absence within his presence. "Why is he not coming?" a voice asked, sharper than it needed to be. He didn't move. He didn't respond. He simply looked back at them, and for the first time, he saw them clearly too. Not as comfort seekers, not as warmth takers, but as people who only realized the shape of kindness when it stopped reaching for them. And that realization didn't hurt him the way it once would have. It only made him quieter, because softness, when ignored long enough, doesn't disappear. It learns. It learns the difference between being needed and being seen, between being surrounded and being held, between being loved and being used as something that never says no. He began to walk away from moments that once called him without effort, not quickly, not dramatically, just slowly, like something inside him was learning how to breathe without giving it all away. And the world around him reacted in ways it didn't understand. The same voices that once passed over him now reached for him. The same hands that once assumed his warmth would always be there now searched for it. The same attention that once ignored him now flickered toward him in confusion. Why does silence suddenly feel louder than presence? He didn't answer that question out loud, but inside him, something finally settled. He realized softness was never his weakness. It was simply never protected. And when kindness is never protected, it slowly learns to hide inside itself, not to vanish, but to survive. Days passed differently now. Not every call deserves a response. Not every reach deserves a return. Because sometimes the world only becomes sharp enough to notice softness when it starts losing it. And once you see that, you can never unsee it again. How long does it take for someone to realize they were only missing you after you stopped giving yourself away?